Well, hey folks, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living, and as you can see, the snow is finally melting. It's been a long couple of days since that storm hit. It's just been socked in with cold. Yesterday it didn't really get over 30 degrees, and today it's barely over 40. So the sun is wanting to come out in some spurts, but it's not all the way out yet. But as you can see and hear around me, the snow is melting from, it's coming through the deck. But what I want to do is go check on the garden. Well, actually two things today. I want to check on the garden, see how the plant's made out, and I also want to get those wet blankets off the beehive. So just kind of a quick little update video, guys. The other thing that's happening, the snow is sliding off the roofs. So you don't want to be standing in the wrong spot. So all the snow mulch has come off. I actually unplugged the halogen lights earlier because didn't really need those anymore since we made it through the worst of the freezing. So now I'm just gonna open them up and take a look, and we'll see how those fragile lettuces did, how those little seedlings that had just come out of the ground, see how they held up. But as you can see, there's just some pooling of some melted snow there, precipitation. The air temperature is warming up quite a bit. The snow is melting really fast. Tomorrow it should be all gone because it's going to be 50s and sunny, so there won't be any trace of it after tomorrow. The other thing we're preparing for is a real test of the driveway. I'm going to make a separate video on that, but our driveway, our fresh gravel that we just put down and moderately packed it tight, got a real test from the snowstorm. It's almost mimicking a spring thaw. So we are going to be having 2 major deliveries tomorrow. So that's going to be a real strain, a real stressor for the driveway under soft conditions already. But I'll make a separate video on that and post that. But let's take a look at the garden right now and see how things have been doing. Okay, here's our halogen lamp. Take this one out. I'm really happy that the halogen lamp lasted and the bulbs didn't burn out, because I know those are really expensive to replace. So you'll notice, in addition to the cover, I had these additionally covered with a little bit of extra cloth. So look at this, guys. Look at that kale. Absolutely. Looks like maybe there was some little bit of frost on the edges here. And it looks like there maybe was a little bit of aphids here. Look at that. Like a little aphid problem in my kale, but I think they died, so that's a bonus. They kind of frosted, so the kale might be ready for harvest. Well, the beet's doing exceptionally well, and this is the big one. Okay, let me pull more of this back. I think my biggest concern was these little seedlings, right? The little transplants. So I had all these kale transplants that were barely, a few weeks growth here. Even some of these from seed, they were just really, really small and tiny, and I knew a frost would kill them. But check out how those lettuce plants are doing. The beet looks fantastic. And even the delicate little zucchini plant with the flowers. This weekend we had some fried squash blossoms, and I'm tempted to do that with these because I don't think we're going to get any zucchini this time of year. So green beans. The other thing in this one was the pea plants. So I even have more peas coming up. So everything in this garden bed survived. The potato plants were looking a little bit mushy because I think they got left out. And let's look at garden bed number 2. This one I'm a little bit more nervous about because this had the just barely sprouted seeds. So there's a lot of things that had just come out of the ground for like a week. So let's see how it looks. What do you think? We're looking at radishes. And we're looking at a spinach plant here. Baby greens back in this corner. And more spinach over here. Operation Save the Garden was a success. So if anybody needs tips that work for emergency shelter for your garden for freezing temperatures, tarp it, strap it down if you think there's going to be winds. So put a strap all the way around, and then put a halogen lamp inside the tent, and you should be good for at least a couple of days. I'm going to actually cover these garden beds back up, just the tarp, no heat, and they'll be good for tonight, and then I can take them off tomorrow because it's going to be 65 and sunny this weekend. I forgot to take a look at my flowers, so I'm going to just look at one, okay, just to see if the flowers died off of it. It's partial. It looks like there was some freezing, and some of the leaves look a little bit frozen all the way through, but then some of the plant looks like it's survived and the flowers look okay, but some of them were pretty much toast, I think. So it's better than the entire thing. Same with this plant. So I mean, it was a hard freeze, guys. It was a hard freeze. We got down to 20 degrees, maybe less. From what I saw on the thermometer, it was at least 20 degrees. So that's that. So now I've got to go save the bees. I want to get the wet blanket off of them. It's definitely soaked up all the moisture from the snow. That is the opposite environment of what you want. You want to avoid introducing moisture surrounding a hive. So I'm going to go take those off and knock on the hives and see if I can hear the bees still alive. Looks like we got some weather pouring in. I hope I can see my way to the beehives. Oh, it's... You can see the dead bees there at the entrance. So there was definitely a collection of bees that did not make it in before the cold really hit. Right here at the entrance and right below where they sort of collected. It's just crazy to see all the snow and realize it's still September. I just don't like the fact that these are just soaking wet. And it's only going to get down to 30 tonight. The bees have already been able to handle that temperature, so they'll be okay. Okay, the real test to see if they're alive is to knock on the hive. So what I do is I put my ear up to it. I'm going to knock. I heard it. Did you do one more? Oh, there's one at the entrance. Okay. All right, that hive's done. Let's do this one. Let's do the knock. 1 out of 2 hives. Let's see if we get 2 out of 2. That one's loud. I mean, 2 for 2. We're on a streak. This one I have more concerns about because they had an extra super that they did not need. They had a super that was completely empty on the top. That means they have a lot of real estate that they had to keep warm that they didn't need to. So that's more of a concern for me. But let's see, let's do the knock. And I don't even need to knock because I can see the bees at the entrance. Those are some brave bees that are flying out in 40-degree weather. So you know what I'm going to say, right? Operation Save the Bees was a success. I just knocked on a bunch of wood, so I'm going to say this, that I haven't lost a beehive yet since beekeeping at high elevations up here in Colorado with the extra long winters and the more drastic temperature swings and the wildlife and everything, and a mouse in the hive this year. I had a lot more success than I had in North Carolina. Maybe you can chalk that up to more years of experience. Maybe I'm being more prudent because I have more invested. But definitely feeling fortunate that the bees do thrive up here, and they do so well. And even though they don't produce a ton of honey, that's okay by me. Maybe I'm still working at it. And I wanted to look in real close at the aspen trees now that the ice is off of the leaves. Just wondering if there's any chance that they still might turn yellow. You know, as I look at them, they look like they actually still might have some life. You know, they're not crispy or anything. So I'm actually kind of hopeful that we still might get a little bit of a fall, and that would be awesome. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to update you on the status of the garden and the status of the bees after the storm. And there's still another video to come about the driveway. We're testing it out tomorrow, and updating you on the geocell performance, and more projects this weekend to come. So we'll see you next time. Bye now.